My next guest is known as the Reality Check Doctor. He's a certified master coach and relationship expert. Off there, we was just talking about relationships. Now, and I forgot that he was one of the top relationship experts. For over a decade, Dr. D. Ivan Young has been dedicated to helping people create a positive, lasting change in people's lives. He has an incredible TEDx. He's an incredible TEDx speaker. In fact, the TEDx that he has out right now has over 1 million views. Please welcome to Money Making Conversations, Dr. D. Ivan Young.
Hey, man! How are you doing, Mr. McDonald?
I'm doing good, but actually, I've waited too long to put you on the show. You should have been on the show a long time ago. Either you're just very busy, or I'm just very busy. But I'm happy to have you on the show, Dr. Young.
Man, it is such an honor to be with you. One thing that I just have to kind of be a little groupie about is when someone that I look at like you as a mentor figure and as a role model calls, the first thing you wonder, okay, is this a damn prank call? And then, it was really your office. So, man, I am just, I'm humbled, I'm delighted, but beyond that, I am very grateful to have someone with your platform and with your track record just provide the opportunity for me to try to bless somebody with what I've learned from you and people like you.
Well, let's give some credit on my side for what you've done for me personally. I was not interested in doing a radio show. I ran into in Houston, Texas. I ran into Ivan in a restaurant. Walked up to him, Rashawn, how you doing? Do my show. And he had a show on at the time. And I said, I don't know. He said, come on, man, do my show. People need to hear you. People need to hear what you have to say. So I did his show in Houston, Texas. And it was great. Fantastic show. Great. People lighting up the phone lines and everything. And when I walked off air, the owners of the station was waiting on me. I sat in their office for 2 hours. You remember that?
And, I remember them ambushing you is what I remember. They ambushed you when you got walked off.
And they sat down and asked me, and I said, well, I do it, but I only do it for 4 weeks. I do the show for 4 weeks. That was in May of last year, 2017. 4 weeks. So now we're at about the 16th month mark, and we're still doing Money Making Conversation. And I'm on the phone with the young man who made it all happen as far as getting me in. And that's why I always tell people, you never know when your next opportunity will come. You keep an open mind, and that's basically what your career is all about, keeping an open mind, correct?
Yes, sir. One of the biggest things that has I've learned from just many mentors, you, Jaylene, Ricky, people like Greg Carter and people like that, is don't get the big head. Work your butt off. People, there's no such thing as being an overnight success. Now, you can screw it up overnight, even within 2 or 3 minutes of running your mouth. But if you really want durable, lasting success, it's all about living your brand and being committed and humble. And every opportunity that you get, take it serious and make the most of it.
Cool. Let's talk about, because there's several layers, because we got you for 2 breaks, and I want to talk about the TEDx moment. Now, how many TEDx speakers opportunities have you had so far?
So far, there are 2 that are published out there, and there'll probably be about 3 more within the next 12 months. We're talking.
I wonder why.
Well, I'll just put it like this, man. It's rare, Rashawn, that they even get brothers. Not that it hasn't been any of us, but we are a very select group. And those of us who have been esteemed or fortunate enough to have that platform, because as you guys know, they bet the hell out you to do a TEDx, and then even when you're in competition amongst all these brilliant minds. So just to have the opportunity to do something like that is truly, truly a wonderful experience.
Now, you had one of your videos that you did on TEDx, over 1 million views. I remember you was tracking it. Rashawn, check this out. I'm at 250,000. I'm at 500,000. Tell us about that experience of taping it, where it was taped, some of the content in it. Don't want to give away because we want to drive them to go watch it and keep adding to the views. But tell us about where it was taped, how the opportunity came about you, and what changes has it caused in your life to get a video that has been viewed by over 1 million people.
Oh, wow. It's highly significant. It's one thing when we put out content ourselves and try to optimize it and sell it, but TEDx doesn't permit you doing any type of stimulation that's financial for a TEDx video. But the way it took place, Lone Star was having a TEDx event here in the Houston area, and a few hundred people applied. I was suggested. And next thing I know, they vetted, and I somehow was very fortunate to make it to the top 10 people that they selected out of hundreds of people. From that point, I just did my thing, talking about the laws of attraction and emotional intelligence. Soon thereafter, they notified me and they said, "Hey, man, this thing's hit 11,000," which I was like, "What, 11,000?" If someone had told me it would be 1 million views within 18 months, I would have never believed it. But I can tell you that what I'm very grateful for is that it's opened up opportunities such as this platform to be on programs like this program I'm on with you right now, to get the exposure and to represent that many of us, meaning men of color, we do more than, and I'm not knocking brothers that catch and dribble balls, because that's a gift within itself, but there are people like you and me out here that use other gifts and other skill sets to maximize our potential.
And there's a lot of potential. But the thing about it is that, I've had some videos that go viral. Viral is anything that exceeds like 150,000 views in social media. And it really does change your life. It brings credibility to it. When you tell people, when you want to get booked on shows, you can send them that link and they'll go, "Really? 1 million people?" And so I guess I want to say that with that happening to you, what has been the most, is that, would you say that's your first big break in the media industry, that video going viral? Not saying that you haven't been accomplished in other areas, but that's pretty significant.
Yes, it is, and I have no problem being transparent or authentic about my journey. Rushion, I have worked so hard to have a voice and to be at least recognized, not esteemed, but just recognized from how hard I work at wanting to be the best at what I do. So to have something like that happen, it did change the level for me in terms of the playing field. And now that I'm there, what I'm really reminded of is stuff that I've learned from watching you is, don't get the big head, because now that you're here, what you going to do while you're here? So being truthful, I'm reading 6 books a month. If I'm not reading it, I'm listening to 6. I'm studying and working harder than ever, and I'm doggone sure praying and meditating every day to make sure that I can stay where I am.
We'll be right back with more Dr. D. Ivan Young on Money Making Conversation. He got a lot to say. Hi, this is Rushion McDonald. You're back with me listening to Money Making Conversation. Before we go back to the interview, I just got to brag about my smile, my teeth. Quip is the reason I am smiling so much and why I have such pretty teeth. Pretty teeth. So when was the last time you replaced your toothbrush? I know when I did, when I got Quip. Do you always brush twice a day for a full 2 minutes? Paying attention to these good habits has a huge impact on your health. Introducing Quip, spelled Q-U-I-P, the new electric toothbrush that helps to fix the brushing habits that most people get wrong. Quip does this with a lightweight and sleek design, simple time vibrations, and guiding pulses to give you a perfect 2-minute clean. Quip is about the size of a normal toothbrush. I know, got it in my pocket right now. Those bulkier electric toothbrushes have awkward charging stands and modes you don't need and cost 5 times as much. Quip starts at just $25, and you can get brush head refills automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended 3-month schedule for only $5, and shipping's free. Quip has been featured in GQ, Oprah's Old List, and Time Magazine, named it one of the best inventions of the year. Go to getquip.com/Rushion McDonald right now and get your first refill pack free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack free at getquip.com/Rushion McDonald. I got my Quip. Yeah, I got my Quip. Yeah. We back on the air with my man. I'm out there selling now, Doc. You see what I'm saying? I am a spokesperson. I am an ambassador to brands now. That's what happens when you're on Money Making Conversation. You get credibility. Now, you have tremendous credibility. And I just want to say this to you, Doc. You
Yes, sir.
what you're accomplishing. I'm proud of you. First of all. And I don't want, and I brought you on the show, and I'm gonna bring you on the show again in the fall because I am a fan of your brand, and it's also the part about because I know the stages you have to go through. So tell us, what is the future of your brand? Because I'm seeing you on these different TV shows as an expert. What is the where are we going? Are we looking at another Michael Strahan here, another Steve Harvey here, another Montel? What's going on here, sir?
Man, being honest with you, my ultimate goal
Lie
is,
lie to me. You better be honest with me.
well, here's the truth. The truth is that there's a guy at a major network named David Perazzi, who has been very much a huge supporter. And then I have people like you and Jaylene and Ricky in my corner. So conversations are happening. We're talking to some people at Dr. Phil's production unit and exploring possibilities there. We're also exploring some possibilities. I have a wonderful publicist, what's up, Heather, who is talking a book deal for me with some people in Chicago. So we're just, I'm open. The one thing that I've learned from you, though, is I want some ownership in whatever I do. I also want to have some degree of creative control, if not control, significant influence to protect the integrity of the content that's created, because I'm not getting ready to be bamboozled, and I'm not going to put out something that doesn't reflect the quality or the messaging that I put in my brand. My brand is about hope and faith and having difficult conversations about unpleasant subjects with one outcome in mind, and that's that not to be right, but just to make sure that we really understand each other and to do something positive with that understanding, other than be made a fool of or be pimped like a you-know-what.
Absolutely. So, now, when you get these calls, you have different calls you get to be an expert. MSNBC, CNN, ABC, NBC. Then you get those calls to be on TV One's hit programs like Fatal Attraction. So what's the tone shift when you're doing a MSNBC versus doing Snapped or Fatal Attraction? Tell us about that.
Well, it's real simple. Know your place. You know, when people call me as an expert, I'm to be that. I'm not trying to be more than I am. So whether it's Greg Carter that let me do a cameo and my BFF, and I understood my place. Look, dude, you're getting a little moment to do something you've never done, so do it. Whether it's doing Fatal Attraction or Snapped or CNN, I want to bring the best. I want to bring my A game. I make sure that I am well positioned and I know my material. So when I get my 2 minutes or my 30 seconds or 15 minutes, I'm going to make sure that I deliver 200% and get that phone call back to come back again.
Now which is really important. That's why I always tell people you have different layers of success, and your brand can be monetized in different levels. And that's what you're doing right now. You're monetizing your brand to let people know that you can do these different layers and shine. And like you said, knowing your place. Now, we're talking about multiple streams of income. I'm a big proponent of multiple streams of income. And then you say something, you have something called the Taco Bell strategy. Now, I've never heard the Taco Bell strategy. So this is Money Making Conversation. When I read that in your questions for the show, I wanted you to explain exactly what is the Taco Bell strategy.
It's real simple. Taco Bell takes ground beef, lettuce, cheese, and a tortilla. And sometimes they make a burrito, they make a taco, they make a tostada, a chalupa. They make all this stuff using the same basic ingredients. So in my practice, I am one of probably 60 or 70 master credentialed MBTI practitioners in the world. And black men, I'm probably one of 6 or 7. And again, in the world. So I use that instrument. I'm an expert on personality type. I'm also an expert on neurolinguistics. I'm also an expert on relationships. So when I do my thing, I make sure that I bring together elements that other people have already said, you know what, this is a proven concept. This is proven science. So it's not just my opinion, because people, you need something as a base and as a platform to build from. The other thing, something I learned from you, I remember you shared this story with me once. You said, Doc, I was going through a season of my life, and they were making some decisions, and you said, well, I tell you what, I don't really mind the money, pay me, but let me keep my title. I need my title. Yeah. So I've learned the value of a good name, number one, and the value of using key ingredients that are associated with my name that I can bring value to that brand, to that instrument, and that instrument can add value and, be somewhat of an implied endorsement for my abilities. And again, like it goes back to this, work hard and know your stuff.
You know, this clip, that story he talked about was that I just wrapped a season on Steve Harvey's first sitcom on ABC called Me and the Boys. And Robert Townsend hired me to do his sitcom on the WB called Parenthood. And I was on the Steve Harvey show, I was an executive story editor. And then what they did was when I got hired on Robert Townsend's show, they moved me back to a staff writer. So I actually took a step back. So I said, hey, I need my title. I said, you don't have to pay me money. Just give me title. I just wanted people to assume that I was still moving forward without the check associated with it. Because a lot of people don't understand that. It's about branding. Way back then, I understood brands, understood about marketing, understood about perception. If people perceive that you're moving forward, then guess what? You'll get paid like you're going to be moving forward. So I already know. I told them they had never had anybody talk to them like that. I said, no. You can keep my salary. Just give me my title back. They went, oh, let's go to legal. When they came back, okay, we'll do it. You sure now? I said, I don't want any money. I just want that title. And that's what you're saying right now. And that's what you try to communicate when you talk about doing business. And that's why you have the title of the reality check, correct?
Yes, sir. I've taken that even further. I've had you in my ear, Ricky, Jaylene in my ear. And if you guys don't know who Jaylene Mack and Ricky Anderson is, you might want to find out. But the thing that the three of you taught me is know when to exit stage left, meaning if something's not conducive to where you're taking your brand, all money ain't good money, and all opportunities aren't good opportunities. The other thing that I learned the hard way is to let other people brag about you, let other people talk about you. And I'm not saying don't promote yourself. There's a difference between promoting yourself and then positioning yourself to look like you're full of what the bull left in the barnyard. Right. So I don't do that anymore. I've made sure that I leave a trail, and that trail is built on things that add value to not only my brand, but to whatever opportunity I'm presented with.
It's amazing. Let me just clarify. Jaylene Mack, she's an attorney out of Houston, Texas. She does all my trademarks that are Steve Harvey, Rashad McDonald, the last 20 years. That's the only person that's ever done trademarks for me and Steve Harvey in that run. Also, Ricky Anderson, he does deals for Tyler Perry, Monique, exclusive with Monique. When she won the Oscar, mentioned attorney Ricky Anderson, on the stage when she won the Oscar. The reality check doctor, that's Dr. D. Ivan Young. I want to thank you for coming on my show. My man, know that we're going to do this more often every quarter because your brand is part of my life. I just want to bring you on the show and say thank you. Thank you for giving me a direction that I wasn't looking. And it was important that you believe in me, that I also believe in myself.
Hey, man, thank you. Love you, bro. And may God continue to bless everything you put your hands on.
Well, I feel good about that statement. I accept it, and I want all those blessings to go back to you the same way. Money Making Conversation will be right